Good evening there. You're watching QTV Youth Dialogue and I am your host, Jana Bosonko. Right now I have a cold. I think generally there's this flu that is ongoing in the country. So take your medications and, let's keep it safe. If you need to wear a mask, please do, because I've been sneezing, having running nose for a period. And I see a lot of people around me having to go through the same thing. So I'm sorry if you're going through that currently. Like I said, welcome to yet another edition of the Youth Dialogue. If you're just tuning in, today I have a very interesting lineup for you as World Children's Day was commemorated about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, but last week, due to reasons beyond our control, we couldn't be here. But we said to ourselves, no matter what, we have to bring it again, although it's past. But every single day is World Children's Day on here. So that is why today I am joined by Usei Sise from the Voice of the Young, and also I'll be joined by Jana Bature. When I say Jana Bature, you all know, award-winning poet. She'll be here to also talk about her journey, and we have an interesting performance for you that we'll be sharing with you at the She Awards. She had a brilliant piece that she delivered. We'll be getting to show you that. And aside from that, the Media Run Challenge also decided to commemorate World Children's Day by inviting children to actually run with them, to have a run challenge. We'll also show you highlights from there, as well as what children thought of that brilliant initiative that the Media Run Challenge decided to come up with. Usei, welcome to the program. We're going to have fun, okay? Chillax, it's chilled always on this platform with me. So how are you and how do you feel?
I'm fine. I'm feeling very great today.
You're feeling great.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, World Children's Day. What's your take on this day set aside by the United Nations?
This day is a day that we the children have been celebrated, where our voices are heard all over the world. They respect our rights and also try to reach to the whole world that we have rights and we should be respected, and that everybody should regard us no matter what.
Okay, on this day.
Yeah.
So as a child, what does this mean to you specifically? You told me what it means to the world and the general public. So how about you? On this day, what do you reflect on?
Like this day is a very big day for me, because I feel that like as a child, I have a voice, I can talk, I will be heard of, and also I will, like the challenges we face, even like the challenges we face as a child, there will be the people there who will listen to us, and also we feel that we are part of the society.
Okay. In the Gambian context, what are some of the challenges that children face?
Malnutrition is part of it. Children in the Gambia suffer from malnutrition, and also education. Not all have access to education. Even if there is education, there is still some family that are not advocating for the girl child to go to school. And also we have the financial issues. Like for those, there are some kids that are really brilliant, but because of the family they are coming from, it's very difficult for them to go to schools or to go to a very good school.
Okay, but anyway, we just started with her, so we're going to go for a quick break, early break for that matter, to take a look at this particular insert from the Media Run Challenge, because the media decided to come together knowing that it is very important, and that we have a responsibility as media to tell the stories of children in a positive light and to hold government accountable. They decided to dedicate that particular Media Run Saturday to children. So let's take a look at what children who participated in this Media Run think about children living in the Gambia, some of the challenges, the opportunities available, and do not forget, parents as well. I listened to it and I heard one of them talking about how parents should just step aside and allow children to also decide for themselves sometimes. Let's take a look at that, and when we come back, Usei Sise is here and she will delve more into the conversation when it comes to World Children's Day. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Good morning to you all. My name is Ndejo, a student from St. Teresa's Upper Basic School. Well, we're thanking the UNICEF and the Media Run Challenge for this day. This day is very important to us. We are kids, and we are supposed to be loved, cared for, taken care of. We are so lucky to have this day to come for us. It's like, it is a privilege. Like the man was saying that other upper countries don't have this. So when we have this, we have to thank God for it and thank UNICEF and the Media Run Challenge for it. And about the government, I think that they should help younger children like us. For we have the right to education. They should provide us with our educational needs, our educational instruments to be comfortable in classes. Sometimes you'll be in a class, but you will try to focus, but the class will be hot at times. You won't be comfortable. So I think that that is one of the things that the government should be doing for us. For those people, they have every right on earth, just as the right we have to education, because children deserve education. We need education, and the backgrounds they are using to learn, it is not a healthy way to be learning. They should have a place where they are comfortable and their minds will be free to at least learn. And when they learn, the teacher will be speaking and they will understand very well. Because without a comfortable place, you won't be able to understand, you won't concentrate, you won't have anything to do with, your mind will have nothing to do with the learning session. Yeah, as the man said, our parents have to be there for us when we need them, or they should always be there for us. Even like they even sit with us, be chatting with us, what do you want to be in life? Do not force a child to do what he or she doesn't want to do. You ask the child, what is in your mind right now? What do you want to become when you are older? Or what do you think that you can do right now? So that they can help you. Because our ideas are large, they are big. And if we put it to action, we can do many things to change the world.
What I'm sharing to the public is that we as students, we need help from our parents and from teachers and from the government too. Number one is like when students are living at far places, like for transportation, vehicle problems, vehicle issues, and for the government to at least subsidize the fare. You know, we are entering in school buses, but not all of us can acquire the school bus because the school bus usually comes very early and sometimes very late too. So if the government can at least provide more road spaces for vehicles to go through the roads peacefully with no traffic congestion also. Parents should allow us to do our own choice because they are not the one who are sitting inside the classrooms doing the syllabus or the subjects that we are doing in the classrooms. So we as students, we should be the one who should decide our future or our future careers. And parents should at least support us and encourage us more. Even though they don't want us to be this, but at least they should see the potential in us that we want to be this. And like one of the speakers said that if you want to achieve something, have it in mind. If we have it in mind, it will be very easy for us. And also if our parents and our teachers encourage us to focus on the subject or the course that we are going to do in the future, it will be very helpful for us. And also, the society should not see students as very low class, like very low people. You cannot just watch a student dressing roughly, and you start to describe the student, maybe he's not a serious student. Do not judge a book by its cover, as the saying says. You don't know what the person has in mind, and you don't know what the person has in heart. So at least, if you see the person, do not judge the person like that. And like our parents should also sit. If you come from school, they can at least, they should ask us what we have done in school. Because some of our colleagues are not going to school. Some might come to school, but they will loiter around. They will not enter inside the school. So if parents can be very vigilant to call us and question us of what we did in the classrooms, it will be very helpful for us as students. And also they should encourage us to focus on our education as we are the future leaders of the society tomorrow. Number one is that you have the potential in mind. If you have the course or the subject matter that you want to focus on the future, you have to have it in mind first. If you have it in mind, it will be very easy for you as far as you are focusing on it. So we as students, we should have the potential in mind and in heart.
We are students, we should have the potential in mind and in heart. Okay, are these children, like Mr. Ade asked the last time, are these children, these people have wisdom. When we say people are born with it, I totally agree with it. Looking at all the things that these children are talking about, it's quite amazing. So what's your, what do you think about what your peers are talking about right now?
What they are saying is 100% true. Like, it's not all children that are coming from a wealthier family. Some children, their problem is their parents. Like, their parents look down on them. And especially, like, if you say, I am going to this field or I'm going to this stream, they'll be like, it doesn't make sense. Only fail or losers go to that stream.
Okay.
Like in the Gambia, I realized that if you want to do arts, they say maybe you didn't pass your exams or you are not brilliant.
Yeah.
Even me, I face that problem. But it's just that I want to go into arts because I know I have the potential and I know the subject, it's in me. I just know
Okay, so what do you want to become?
I want to be a economics.
You want to be an economist?
Yeah, I want to study fashion designing and also maybe agriculture.
Agriculture, oh my God. What a rare combination, agriculture and fashion designing. Why is that?
Since I was small, I always have this in mind. I always say that I want to be a fashion designer. I love fabrics. I love that. I just love textiles. And when it comes to agriculture, I see that I have this connection like with the soil. I always like, I have this feeling like, why do we always need to import when we have the soil? Like we could, because Gambia's staple food is rice. Even if we can go into rice production, that is sufficient for the whole country.
Yeah.
But we could do something like, we could do potato or onions, like this petty food that we don't need to import from Senegal.
Okay.
That is just wasting our money on it. So, but if we ourselves in the Gambia, if we are able to do that, I think that will cause, it will really help our economy.
Okay.
It will help the government's expenditure, and you see that capital that can be used in those areas can be used in a better field that will benefit the whole of Gambia.
Okay, you want to be a fashion designer. Tell me, how do I look? How do I, just be honest, critique me.
Actually, you look perfect.
Okay.
The color combination is good.
She just said color combination. The color combination is okay
Yeah.
with the shoes,
Yeah.
with everything,
Yeah.
matches well. Girl, I know you want to become an economist. You know why? Because you're already talking to me about how government expenditure should be, not to import, export. That is because you want them to spend wisely. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to open the lines now because I want this conversation to be heated, considering some of the areas that you've touched on already. So call us on 5050505, 5050505, and what you think about the plight of children in the Gambia and how we can collectively advance it, change it. So call us, 5050505. It's right in front of you. And please, when you call, make sure, do not listen to us using your television. You can even turn the volume to 0 and just use the phone to listen to us, just so we'll be able to communicate smoothly. I think that will help. There is some form of contradiction between what the market is looking for, the market demand, and Gambia's skilled workforce. And you talked about how you want to become a fashion designer. So do you think what you're learning in school is reflecting the fashion designing that you're talking about? Is it reflecting it?
No. That's why I changed my main career from fashion design into economics.
Okay.
Because I wanted to study fashion designing, but I realized that like the school syllabus, like especially what I'm doing, I'm not even doing clothing and textiles, so it will be very difficult for me to go to fashion designing, unless if I'm done with school, then I want to study it, then I could go to a university.
All right, so we have a caller on the line. We'll get back to that shortly. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. What's your name and where you're calling from? What's your name? Hello?
Nah.
Yaa ngi ñoo dégga?
Wow.
Waa lan mooy sa xalaat ci programme bi?
It's my birthday and I wanna.
Oh. We're just gonna let that go. She said it's her birthday, but whatever the case, we're wishing you a happy birthday, okay? Let's go back to the conversation about the contradiction we're talking about. You had to switch because that is not available.
Yeah, that is not available. Like the subject, I'm not doing it in school. That is because the field that I'm doing, they are not incorporating it in the syllabus. So I just had to let it go. But I want to do it in my minor. So I want to concentrate more on economics and government and probably history and civic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the government of the Gambia in 2019 launched the or established the Ministry for Gender and Children and Social Welfare. What's your take on that as a child?
I think that platform is very good because I see them, there is a lot of advocacy programs, sensitizations, and I have been with them, like I always go for their programs.
So we'll just take this one on the line and get back to the conversation. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mansata Bajo,
Where are you calling from?
Brusubi.
Okay, Mansata, what's your take on World Children's Day?
Okay, so first of all, I'm the former president of Voice of the Young, and then I'm very proud watching Usay.
Nice, nice.
Okay, so the World Children's Day, like it makes children realize their worth in the world and their voices to be heard and all sort of that. And Voice of the Young is an organization in the Gambia that promotes the right and welfare of children. So it's like they speak on the voices of children, like they act as the voice for the voiceless.
Right.
So I'm very proud seeing Usay as a child representing the children well on this platform. And by the way, you all look great today.
We look great, thank you. Thank you so much. We are so glad you called.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye. Yes, so we were talking about the establishment of the ministry.
Yeah, the ministry is very good because you see that like most people, like I realize that most girls, they think this thing that their parents always tell them, like the girl child should always stay at home, you should not go to school. But I see that there have been a real improvement on that. Like girls start to know their worth, and they are not everyone, but some parents also have now realized the essentials of a girl child going to school. Now they see that if a girl child is educated, you just don't educate a person, you educate a household, and she also makes sure that her generations all are educated.
Right.
And also the meals that I always see that are also part of it, like especially from my school, they are also very supportive. They're always like, they know that both male and female have this ability, like you might not consider a girl child potential, but now they know that not all, but most of them who have the chance to know about it, or who have been educated about it, now they know that
All
we
right,
all.
let's take this call and we'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Evening.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Madula Sedikan.
Okay.
I'm calling in Banjul.
Okay, so Majula, what's your take on the topic World Children's Day?
I'm very happy for that Jena Sonko.
Okay.
I'm very proud of them.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it.
Hello.
Hello, yes? All right, that's the call from Banjul. We like the fact that we have different, aspects of different regions, different places getting to call and share with us what they think about this year's World Children's Day. So do you think there's enough inclusion as we speak when it comes to every child?
That is a major problem that we are facing right now. Even as the voice member, we are trying to reach to all the children in the Gambia, but I just recently found out that not all the children know about the Voice of the Young. They'll be like, what platform is that? Then when you tell them that it's about our voices, like if you have a complaint or any sort of a thing that is physically, emotional, but anything that is disturbing you as a child, or you have a potential that anything you want to showcase as a child, you just need to speak up. They'll be like, I have never known that platform is around. And I will be like, okay, that platform is for we the children. If you have anything you want to showcase, anything you want to say, you just have to say it. You don't need to feel shy. It's just we the children. That platform is especially for us, the children.
Which means there's a lot of room for improvement as to decentralizing the activities. But do you think your current curriculum at school reflects your needs, as in allowing you to know your rights and your responsibilities, what to do, what not to do, when to say yes and when to say no? Do you think the education system reflects that?
Yeah. I don't know from which schools, but from the schools that I go to, they are really trying to help on that. Like for SOS, the number one priority is a child's right. Like if you're in SAS, you must know your rights and your responsibilities, and that is just like a song that is always being sung in your ears. So there, for the rights of children, that one is completely respected. And again, and I see that like in many schools now they have the CRC club, and that is helping the children to know more about their rights. I don't, maybe it's coming up, because even if you don't hear it from a school, you hear it from a friend that we have a platform in the school that is for the rights of children. And also I see that recently on the media people come up talking about the rights of children, and also I thank the ministry for that, because they have been really doing a lot of improvement on that.
But do you think the rights of children is understood by the public?
Yeah, that is a major factor that we are facing. Like most of the parents will be like, the children doesn't have a right. They'll be like, anything a child wants is subject to the parents. But they don't know that, yes, there is this thing, parents should not make decisions for their children. They should just guide. A child is the person who has to make decision for him or herself, but the parent is just there to guide. Like if the decision the child makes is not correct, then you can, in a very friendly matter, you can tell the child that, okay, this decision you have made, I know that you like it, but it's not the best for you. It will not work for you. How about you change your suggestions? You can make a suggestion, or maybe you tell the child, maybe you could think and change to something else, but you just don't shut the child out, because it kills the potential.
Okay, how about responsibilities? The child has a responsibility. The parents should guide. But how often do you also push your peers to accept that they have responsibilities as children?
Yeah, even under the UNCRC, there is this thing, if you know your rights, every right goes with a responsibility. Like for instance, if you say, I have the right to education, yes, you have the right to education, but it doesn't just mean that you'll be given the right to education, but you...
That's education. Let's come back to that. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening.
Evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm from Nigeria, calling in Tabokoro.
Okay, what's your take on the program?
It is so interesting, and I really enjoy the program.
Nice. So what's your take on World Children's Day? What's your take on the plight of children?
I was listening to the lecture from the parents to guide them on their topic and whatsoever they want to do.
All right, so parents are there to guide, not to impose?
Exactly.
Okay, could you join no? Nehalen Kawai. Thank you so much for calling. Yes, you were talking about responsibilities and under the charter. Yeah.
I would say that if you say that you have right to education, your responsibility is that to go to school, make sure you do all the procedures that is go through with education, make sure you learn, you also try to take the best ability that you can ever do and try to pass all your subjects so that they can, like, the people that are advocating for your rights will be more motivated. They'll be like, okay, we are helping these people to to implement their rights. We are implementing their rights, and now they are happy, and we see that the turnout is good.
Yeah, but respect, right? And honesty.
Yeah.
How important are these two?
It's all part of responsibility. Yes. Responsibility is a big word. Like if you say responsibility, it has to do with honesty, it has to do with integrity, it has to do with contentment, it has to do with so much things, all the good qualities you can ever find in a good person or in a successful area. So I think for that reason, if we say we have a responsibility, we have a big role that we should play. You should not just take the thing for granted.
Okay, let's take this caller as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Fatmata.
Okay, Fatmata, what's your take on the topic? It's World Children's Day we are talking about, which has passed already, but it seems you guys are too happy to talk. Is that so? I think we should have to, they're too happy. Let's understand that, you know, it's children-related matters. So we can see the excitement. So what should we look forward to? I know you talked about your career prospects and everything, but, you know, in the next few years, should we see you come up with something advocating for children and all of that? What spaces do you hope to occupy as a young leader?
Actually, I have this thing in mind. I always love to work with my colleagues, and I know and I have this feeling that because today I have this platform that I could speak, I could say whatever I want, I'll also try to do that. When I grow up, I'll also try to help my younger ones, to also give them a platform, that space, that energy to talk about whatever they want on their platforms without being criticized or being violated in any form.
Okay. And we are happy about the fact that you have the hijab on. Is it's something that you love to do?
Yeah.
And it looks amazing on you?
I just love to do it.
Okay.
Since I was 12, I told my mom that I was going to do hijab. And she was like, are you sure? I was like, I just love the way they dress, so I'm going to do it.
And you want to continue with it?
Yeah,
and you made that decision at 12 years, which means you grew up being informed.
Yeah.
Is that coming from the home or coming from the school?
It's coming from the school because I've been with SS since, I've been going to SS since, let me say, I was there since, I just started my schooling there.
Okay.
Since pre-nursery, I did my nursery, my low music, then my junior school.
Yeah.
And I always say that I knew that I had rights because I've been taught since from the basic level, and I respect my rights and I also take care of my responsibilities. I also try to inform those around us, like the children that are not privileged to have those kind of things, but I also try to talk to them. Whatever I could get, I also try to share it to the public because it is said that like information is just, it's not coming from one person. Like if I inform someone, that person is going to also inform someone, and that will go a long way.
So you've dealt with the ministry, so now you agree with me that there's political will when it comes to the government of the Gambia, when it comes to the plight of children. Is that what you're concluding on? Is that because you're close to them and they invite you to events?
No, that's not the reason. I just see that.
I think we have another caller, so let's take that and we'll be back. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mohammed Esdrane.
Calling from?
I'm from CPA, Voice of the Young.
Oh, nice.
And I'm calling from Bundu.
Nice. So what is your take on World Children's Day, which was commemorated last week or 2 weeks back? But what's your take?
First of all, I would like to say this is a very big of.
Oh, please call back. I think you know him, right?
Yeah.
Please call back. We want to hear what you have to say, especially coming from a young man, you know. So let's go back to that. Is it because they invite you to the event?
No, like on the day of the International Children's Day, there was a celebration at SIS, and I was there, and I had what the Minister of Children's Affairs said, and I was really impressed by it, and I see that she loves children a lot, because I could see the interaction between the children, and there was this atmosphere, like everybody was comfortable, nobody was feeling like, okay, I am with elders, I have to behave, like everybody was just living
comfortable there. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening.
Wa alaikum salam.
What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mohammed Koli. I call from Fairplay.
Okay, what's your take on the topic?
I am calling at Fairplay.
So what's your take on the topic? Listen to us using your phone.
Yes.
All right, we'll have to, you know, like I said, when you call, make sure to use your phone instead of your listening to us using your TV. But we are happy that children are calling. You know, that is why we have this platform open for you guys to have the right conversations. But like I said, every single day is International Children's Day, and the conversation has to continue again and again. So, you know, so finally, before we leave, quickly, tell us, what do you think is the role of young boys when it comes to the plight of young girls?
The other thing is that they should not feel superior. They should just know that we are all kids, and when it comes to being a kid, there should be no differences. They should just know that everybody has their own potentials, and we are all working towards the national development and also to our own aims and becoming a better elder or a better person in the future.
All right. So I am looking forward to you being that fashion designer / economist / agriculturist. I'm looking forward to that, girl. And we will keep on following what you do. And thank you so much for representing the voice of children in the Gambia. So apart from that, now we have another video from Jainaba Toure. So Jainaba is an award-winning poet, and she will join us here to take us through her journey. And recently, if you've been following the news, she was featured on BBC on the work that she's been doing. And this is a performance at the She Awards. Let's take a look at it. And when we come back, we'll get to have a conversation with her. Don't go anywhere.
If you were the definition of being a man, then you are not man enough. Since you had the balls to paint my sheets, then I don't need a brush to paint these sheets because my stories were all over them. So look at me when I speak, like you looked at me when I screamed. Let the tip of my tongue tell the tale. Did I not scream enough for you to see through me? For it took you less than a minute to undo me. Half an hour later, you fixed # rebuilt me. I malfunctioned, and you locked me into a state of emergency, so I screamed. Because I felt my bones break by you. Digging your claws into my skin, you pound on me like a 50-foot beast when I do not desire you. This soft spot wasn't soft enough for you. So this hymen broke into tears. I couldn't take it, so I broke into tears. Confused and petrified, I spoke in here every language I knew, including syllables reference to the gospel. But how would I expect you to relate when your filth holds no ground on the sands of church? Now put me on pause. Do not replay. Did I not scream enough for you to see through those tears? Or I guess you just assumed that my body was made of bricks. Or was it just fun to you? Did I not scream enough for you to put away those urges? But selfishly blinded, you were in pursuit of my purses, protecting your urges. Now I'm locked up in curses. Look at me and stop circling. I'm not a fingering. You are one son of Adam who knows not of morality. Let me teach you. Tell your fellow men to either be brothers or husbands. They can't be in between. Now keep your lost rib. I don't want it. You talk about fractions but forget you're improper. And when your desires lost count, you spoke of numbers but lost your figure. Find it. Because this battle between you and I isn't fit. Let your muscles learn to walk. Let them learn. That's the first piece, and I'll be performing a next one. This one is real empowerment of not just women, everybody. I hope you really like it. It's my personal favorite. The title is Beast. My tears depict the power in my temperament. And I shall not hate me to love you, for indeed, in such a world of treachery, I would live a survivor. Because I'd rather serve in heaven than rule in hell, and no jurisdiction dares defy that statement. These were her very words. But believe me, my little girl learned it the hard way. They called her Lucifer, said she was a devil, a beast. But I defy that. Because the longer you dance with the devil, you're bound to fall deeper in hell, and she is no devil. She's an angel with a voice, because when she speaks, she silences thunder. She creates a bond greater than the intimacy between the sun and its rays, but she learned to roar. So they called her Beast. Gave her the fangs and the fur she was never born with, the poisonous beastly claws she never saw, mottled her image into something she could never pursue, called her names she never knew. For indeed, there was only one name tattooed on her brain, one name that even billionaire Bill Gates couldn't decrypt nor explain, one name their hearts could just not embrace, so they tried to knock down her confidence and credibility, called her fat. Said she was too tall, too black and too dull, and out of pain, she falls in despair with tears in her eyes. But hey, my little angel, I'll tell you this. You don't have to be gorgeous to be recognized. Don't need to wear goggles to look smart. You don't have to tiptoe in them heels to show height. Don't need to be thin to be seen at first sight. So let them yak all they want. Because only loose lips sink ships, but let not their loose lips sink you, so float. Float and stand up tall, chest out with your head above all. Make them perceive enough that indeed you don't need to be perfect. For it is from imperfection that perfection is born, and that verily imperfection is but an honor because it comes from greatness, so love who you are. And if loving yourself is wrong, then you don't ever want to be right. So now, go tell them bullies that mama said, I'm a special beast. Tell them mama said, I've got the best qualities that you need but couldn't even afford for. They're just too expensive to be sold. See?
All right. Amazing, you guys. A standing ovation in your living rooms, please, for her. Thank you so much, Jane Abature, for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
So the beast, quickly, like I said, even if you do not come, just that is enough to tell us who you are. But why is that your favorite piece, the beast?
It's a personal favorite because it's me.
Okay.
It helped me grow. Okay. It helped build the person I've become. Most of the things that are in the poem, I've lived through.
Okay. Bullied? You were bullied?
I wasn't necessarily bullied, but I was not uncomfortable with, let's say, body size, color, and height.
Right.
But eventually, I embraced it. When I did this poem, it was it for me.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what anyone else said about how I looked.
Yeah.
I would do my best, look great, satisfy myself, and then I'm good.
But girl, girl, excuse me, girl, you look perfect.
Thank you.
Jigen da fanjol, jigen da fanyul. Jigen da fanjol mu ñuul waay duma ko nangu. Well, anyway, like you said, however you look, it's about how comfortable you are.
Definitely.
But how did you start this journey?
Poetry slam.
Yeah.
It all started ago 3 years ago.
Yeah,
3 years ago. I didn't do poetry before then.
Okay.
And when I started, most people said, you've done poetry before. And I told them, no, I haven't. It's my first time.
Yeah.
So from then it started performance. And I would tell people I didn't have the passion. I just wanted to get into the competition and that was it.
Yeah.
Eventually it grew on me. And then I realized, wow, I actually love poetry. And then it's a part of me.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it's amazing, like you said.
Thank you.
But while you were going to school, you did not write?
No, I never used to write.
So
I used to be, I was into arts a lot, drama, debates.
Okay.
I was into that,
Okay.
but not necessarily poetry. I never used to write.
So you just hop into it and then it worked automatically.
God. Yes.
Oh my God. And it's just amazing. So what does it take to be a good poet?
A lot. Discipline, hard work, consistency. You need to be willing to learn. You need to be willing to be groomed. And
Yeah.
you need to be willing to be groomed to take on criticisms and watch videos.
Yeah.
You don't just and until this age, I still watch poetry videos.
Right.
I still listen to them. I still watch other people perform.
Nice.
I learn from them.
Yeah.
I make sure my grammar is good. I always read the dictionary. I read novels. I read books.
Check it again.
Exactly. So these are the things that could help you grow. Don't just stick to one side. Always,
And
improve.
you know what? You guys have brought in a new style of poetry. At that time, it was just somebody just standing like this. Hey, I'm here to read a poem, this, blah. But you guys just brought in that fire, that energy, and everything.
Definitely.
It's amazing. How do you guys do it? I can't.
I would say... Oh my goodness. No, you'll be fine. You'll be
I
fine.
don't think so.
I think people would say it's talent, but if you don't rehearse, you don't do the research, you don't know what you're saying, you have a problem.
Okay.
But before I write, I would always, this is a secret, I don't think I've told a lot of people.
Okay.
But before I write, I would always, my mom tells me this, with school or Quran or whatever, she would tell me, before you start reading, pray to God, oh Allah, bless me with the comprehension, the understanding of this, or whatever you're reading. So I would do that. Even with poetry, I would do it. And then I've seen a massive difference. It's a miracle for me. Before I would write, I have difficulties. When I do that prayer, I'm good to go.
Oh,
so it's a miracle for me, and it's talent at the same time. It's a mixture of both.
And it works.
Yeah, and it works.
Well, alhamdulillah, it's working for you. We appreciate that. We see that now. Poets come up with albums, okay? When is Jane Abature's album coming out? Legi poets yi baye wuñ ko ñom esti ñom jësul de. Legi yeen da ngeen na oté fele ci hall bi mu fess. So we want to know what you're up to. What's happening?
I've not really planned on album launching, not yet.
Okay.
I most likely will be publishing a book, most likely next year.
Okay.
And I've opened my YouTube channel and I've uploaded my first video 2-3 days ago.
Right.
So next year, 2023, there could be a show. There could be, but I want it different.
Okay.
I don't know what it's going to be like.
I've
not
thought
thought about
it to be the usual thing.
No, it's going to be completely different, but it could take time as well. I'm not ready. That's what I feel. I'm not ready. But I would love to publish sometime in 2023, and that's where I am at this point.
All right, I'm looking forward to that.
you.
So apart from poetry, who is Jainaba Toure?
I am a second-year law student.
Okay.
Yes, University of the Gambia. I work at my dad's restaurant. Yeah, basically that's it. And write poetry, stay home, chill. Yeah, basically
that's... You do your own makeup?
Yeah.
This
sometimes.
looks good.
Thank you.
Skin as well. Skin looking good.
Thank you.
The
Thank you
beast.
so much.
You know, it's working.
Thank you.
It's working perfect. You know,
Thank
nothing
so
to be
much.
scared about.
Definitely.
And I think I need to listen to that again because sometimes we just have insecurities as women,
we do.
and we want to do the extra things. And I'm happy that that is out, and I'll listen to it more personally.
It
to
will
be able
help.
to also,
It will help.
you know,
Yeah.
get the energy back and all of that.
Definitely.
So finally, what do you want to say to your fellow poets about poetry and everything? Because now I see it's all over, okay? Before now, that wasn't the case, but it's all over now.
Yeah.
So as an experienced individual and award-winning as
Experience?
well,
Oh my God.
well, I would call it that. Girl,
Okay,
don't underestimate yourself.
okay.
Remember the beast, whatever.
Okay.
So tell us.
I would say read a lot.
Yeah.
Don't use excuses to validate the problems you've had. Don't do that. There's this one problem I have with a lot of people. The books you read, self-care books, it's fine to read them. It's really okay. Just don't lose yourself while you do that.
Okay.
When I recite my poetry, I have characters. I try to, even though my rape piece, my scream piece, I've never been a victim.
Okay.
But I put myself in that position, you know. So when you write poetry, feel it. Let the emotions flow. Don't just write and read. It doesn't work that way. You need to be in contact with the poem. It needs to be you and you need to be it. And that's how it works. And read a lot. Always try to fix what you write. Edit a lot. Make it better. And let every piece of work be the best. That's how. Every line needs to be a bar. That's how I write.
All right.
So basically that's it. And thank you.
So who do you look up to in this game?
I don't think I have that.
Okay, because
I have a few poets that I really like.
Okay.
Abdullah Jaite,
Okay.
he's one of my favorite. Kebamba, he's one of my favorite.
Okay.
Aliou Jallow, one of my favorite, and Maya Angelou as well.
Okay.
One of my favorite.
Okay.
I won't really say I look up to any poet,
Specifically.
but yeah, I love the styles and, and
Thank
writings.
you for being honest. But have you ever performed somewhere and you feel like you got stuck and then tried to patch something? Because kram dafa metti
Oh,
ñun
God.
tamit dibe dañ dé dem ba càng rek dara. So how do you deal? What are the coping mechanisms in poetry performances? That's what I want to know.
I don't think you could ever, personally for me, I don't think I could ever adapt to that.
Okay.
Every time I have to perform, it's a challenge.
Okay.
I have goosebumps, I have anxiety until I stand on stage and then I start talking, then it's gone.
Okay.
The problem lies where you've not fully memorized a piece or it's a new poem and you've memorized it, but the flow and then the toning, it takes time and the pace.
Right.
So for me, I don't know, I think I try to control my facial expressions.
Right.
You could never tell that I'm stuck.
Okay.
Unless if you've heard the poem before
Okay.
or you've seen me rehearse it.
Okay. So you
know.
have to be smart about it.
I don't know if it's smart, but I think it's good. Because I really struggle sometimes. I
Okay.
struggle when I do it. But yeah, I don't really have a specific coping mechanism.
Okay.
Just try to be calm. When you know you're gonna, most times you know that you don't know the next line.
Yeah.
So when it happens, you're gonna, most times I am slow.
Okay.
And then I try to adapt to whatever is happening. And then people would think, okay, she's gone slow, she's fine. And then in the, if I don't know the next line, then I just cut it off.
But it never shows.
Yeah, it doesn't. Sometimes, I think once.
Well,
But
okay, but anyway, generally, I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
And finally, we see that poetry now can pay the bills. in a way. Yen xalé légui fuñ len o ngeen daw. UN buñ amé event ngeen rité won.
Definitely.
Ku am event ku len o ngeen daw. Sen post yi fess na wa wala dedet.
Half and half.
Tele nga tok do musa nangu man xalé yi.
Half and half.
Champion dina ko call dina ma wax yeen.
Champion du la wax secret bi.
Du ma wax secret bi, but generally it's becoming a career.
It is because you notice you take a lot of time to write, to build that poem, and you have struggled. Sometimes you want to write, you can't. You get stuck.
Me blank.
Maybe I'm the idea, but sometimes idea bisa dunya. Wow. So sometimes you have to be pushed into the emotional side of it. You need to be sad for you to want to write or need to write. So it's difficult when people see you perform. They think it's she did it. It was easy. It wasn't. Sometimes some of my poems, I cry and then I'm sad. I write it and that's how it comes. So you think it was all jolly and good. And suma by the dafa face school fees. Where did that all come from?
Anyway, due to time constraints, we have to let you go now.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will look forward to other projects that you get to come up with.
Okay.
And you know, you were featured on the BBC and it was all over the place. And girl was like, okay, it's me, it's Jennifer, whatever. So up next, we will go for our segment, which is what's happening with Lena, and we will be right back.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to another segment of What's Happening with me, Lena. I have missed you guys and I'm so excited, especially with the caliber of young people I have with me here today. It is said that youths are the backbone of any nation. So let's go talk to these young people and hear what they have to say. Follow me. Hi JJ.
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. So I will ask, how has it been a youth in the Gambia?
Challenging, but I think focus, determination, consistency, it pushes you a long way. And when you have the right people around you, the right grooming, my dad, my friends, my family, they've been there, very supportive. Basically, to anyone watching this, advice is be good, be focused, go for what you need and not what you want.
Thank you so much. I believe being a youth in the Gambia is a mixed feeling. For the fact that as a young person you feel powerful, you feel part of the, the highest amount of the population, and then as a result, you feel privileged to belong to that category and be able to make certain decisions. But also, sometimes you feel like you're not empowered enough. You don't have the required opportunity to thrive as a young person, but that is not supposed to be a killer in terms of what you want to do. It should be a motivation to do more.
You mentioned not being empowered enough, and I was going to ask that. Do you feel like you're empowered enough here?
Obviously, I would not feel very empowered as a young person, even though I know I don't know, it's more or less like, put on a balance a bit. I'm empowered in one way. For example, I'm able to raise my voice and speak, on a lot of platforms and influence decisions. But from the general perspective of young people of the Gambia itself, I don't believe young people in the Gambia are practically empowered enough to me.
How does it feel like being a youth in the Gambia?
Well, it feels really great. I mean, I have the feeling that there are a lot of ideas that are unborn here in the Gambia that we can really bank on to really drive this country as young people, and we honestly have the potential. Don't look at the size of this country, look at the brains that we have in this country. So I feel really great to be a young Gambian.
She's saying we have the potential. Now ask Bakari, do you feel like we're empowered enough?
I must say yes, young people are empowered, but for the not enough. To be quite honest, young people still deserve better. Looking at the population, over 65% of the population is youth. So and looking at the unemployment rate, it's quite threatening. So for me, I believe that young people still deserve and need to be empowered beyond words, and empowered to realize their fullest potentials.
Talking of deserving, what should be done better, Sheikh?
Well, I think there are a lot that could be done better when it comes to, you go to climate change, you go to politics, you go to education. I mean, just looking through gender equality, looking at the SDGs, I mean the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, you should definitely be able to know that we have a lot of work to do. And as I said at the beginning, we have a lot of untorn ideas that we can definitely bank on as young people and really do this for our country.
Bakari, over to you. What advice will you give young people watching you and looking up to you?
Yes, it will always be the same. Like, we must go out there to strive. Like, irrespective of government's position, young people still deserve to go out, because if they realize their potential, at the end of the day, it's for them. It's at the end of the day, it is young people trying to make ends meet for themselves. It's for young people out there, it's more or less like claim your own potential, take ownership of your own destiny. You will slowly get where you want to get to.
That was a great talk. I enjoyed it. And then I'll take it from them. Claim it. It's yours. Let's take ownership of it. And I would dare say the future is indeed young and the future is indeed bright. That's it from me. Bye for now.
I'm actually dancing to the Rang Habisab in the studio right now, but we're joined by Lena, who's actually about to tell us more about that event that was organized in commemoration of, oh, it was actually not in commemoration, it was when the UN Assistant Secretary General was here and decided to meet young people at the Accelerator Lab to actually bring in some of the ideas that they have as young people and share way forward as in a smart future. Thank you so much for joining us.
Right, Jaina, but thank you. It's good to be here again. I missed here and then I missed all of the people watching. We portrayed young people, them saying that they're empowered, but then they still feel like there isn't enough. They're working hard, they're doing everything it takes, but then they just feel like they have their voices alone to speak up, but then they still need more empowerment to be done. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, man, personally, I go through it every single day because it happens in workplaces, happens at school, happens everywhere. And, you know, I'm a strong advocate of saying, allow young people to take on their spaces, to own their ideas. And another thing that is very important, we see how young people really come up with ideas and other people take credit for it, which is quite sad, which we go through every single day. It's an intergenerational dialogue. Like I said, to support young people, it has to be a matter of everybody coming in to push us. So accept Lenyu. That's all we're asking
I'm glad
for.
you had Jainaba here, and I had her there as well. So it's nice. She's doing poetry. She's doing really great, and she's featured on the BBC. So she talked about support, having the right support and encouragement needed, and then it's more of having the support. You have the talent, you have everything it takes, but the support is there to push you, to lift you further. And then if it's not there and necessary, you can't go. And she talked about having her dad being her key supporter, which is very, very great. And it's nice seeing young people really thriving. We've seen a lot of young people, Omar Champion Cham, I had Bakari there. They're doing really great in their fields, and that is nice. They're supporting each other. And we see a lot of young people empowering and supporting each other. Which is very, very good.
We have a minute to go, but thank you so much, Lena, for joining us on the program.
It was a pleasure.
But generally, let's all come together and push young people and just allow them. We have brilliant ideas. The moment you give us the space to thrive, we will surely do. Till we come your way next week with another episode. Hopefully, that episode will be in rural Gambia, and I'm excited about it. So looking forward to that. Till we come your way next week. Bye-bye.